Stages Theater was founded in 1993 by Brian Kojak. The goal was to establish and maintain an aggressive production schedule for the purpose of accelerating the development of the artists involved. Stages Theater was located in an industrial complex in Anaheim, California, and sat 50 to 60 patrons depending. In 1993, Stages Theater produced 26 primetime and late-night productions. This was one of our one-act originals directed by the author. As a reminder, this is a theater production, designed and intended to be performed for a live audience. This video is a record of the production, but unfortunately the lighting, sound quality, and the camera's focus, or lack thereof, cannot compare to the actual live performance experience.
Welcome to Stages. Most of you, I think, are here. There's a lot of people here for the first time. I see some friendly faces in the back. How many here for the first time? We do theater a little different. We do theater a little different here. Obviously, we kind of break down the starchy atmosphere and invite you to come as comfortable as possible. It's a little warm in here, so I know in the summertime I like to dress like this. Next time you join us, you feel free to. Also, you notice some people came prepared with coolers and things like that. We like to keep well lubricated during the performances here. And if that appeals to you, feel free to bring your own liquids and stuff to keep. Normally we have that loft area up there open. Not for this particular production, but if you come back, maybe sometime you'll get a chance to sit up there, and it's a unique way to see a show. We do a lot of theater here. On the back of your programs has a calendar for the next 7 weeks, what we're doing here. This show you see tonight, these two shows close tonight. Next week we open a new one act, Blood, Sweat, and Beers, episode 4, Thermonuclear War. Woo! Break out spontaneous combustion laughter. It's a funny show, guys. Keep it down back there. Gremlins in the building. We're haunted here. Come out and see that. And then we take a week off, and then we've got a very funny piece. It's a Woody Allen piece called Death and Street Smart. So you can come out and join us for those. We hope you do tell people about what's going on here. Spread the word. That's how we keep our doors open. You telling your friends and so on and so on. And right now I'm going to give a raffle away as we prepare for something that are you ready back there? Okay. Is this Chris? Where you at, Chris? Did you win last night? No. All right. Some people can't get enough theater here. They see everything we do as many times as we do it. It's the popcorn. It is the popcorn that keeps bringing them back. Brenda, where are you at, Brenda? Brenda, you see? You're famous here. Share with the neighbors. We have a little segment we like to kind of do as a community service to our public.
What? Information boy.
Yeah.
Information boy.
First timers, what this is, like I said, it's a community service. We know that a lot of people talk bad things about theater and how it just wastes your mind and stuff like that. You know, so what we try to do is send you home with a little culture, a little something that you can tell your family and friends, something you learned here. That theater is not just you know, like a television. We try to educate you here.
You know that men who are balding in the front are great lovers. Men who are balding in the rear are great thinkers, and men who are balding all over, well, they just think they're great lovers.
Men that are balding in the rear? I don't have to think about that way. Anybody want to admit to that? Okay, I didn't think so. It's been brought to my attention that we have a special person in the audience tonight. You've probably heard of him. He's world renowned.
Yeah.
I know he's embarrassed. I'm going to bring him up here. He probably doesn't want to do this, but you've seen his act on the Johnny Carson show.
Yeah.
You've seen him on the Jay Leno show. You've seen him on the Pat Sajak show. That's really what killed his career.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase. We've had him here before. I know he's a little shy. He might not be prepared, but we call him a punctuation boy. Next to me! We're so privileged to have you in the house tonight. I'm sorry to bring you up without warning you, but
You got me on the spot, Brian.
just share some of that wisdom, that knowledge.
Okay. I was going over my Webster's Guide to Punctuation today. I came across maybe the most ethereal punctuation, and that is the ellipse. And
What is the ellipse?
well, that's commonly referred to as ... Now, I like to think that the ellipse is what happens when periods get together and party. Thank you.
Alright, see? We're here to educate. The shows you see tonight, guys, are passion projects. They're brought from within the company. The first one you see between two walls is written and directed from within our company. The second piece is an adaptation, as your program indicates. And these people work hard on this. It's kind of scary. We give them one rehearsal in the space. Most of the time that they work on this is at their own, arrangement. And then we just kind of see what happens. Throw an audience at them and see what happens. So we hope you do come back and join us again for our next upcoming shows, and we do many here. So that's it, and enjoy the show.
Great. This is nice. I like this. You have a two-way mirror going here, don't you? You can see me, but I can't see you. Nice touch. Well, the people who own this joint told me to tell you a little bit about myself before I take these wonderful candy-colored pills. But I think you know what's wrong with me. I'm crazy. Crazy for loving you. What's that aftershave you're wearing? It's driving me crazy. All right. Well, let's get the show on the road. I know you guys have a lot of important things to do. Wash your car, do your taxes, have dinner with Floyd. I have this recurring dream. I'm tied to a cross, crucifixion style, and these nuns are throwing different colored frisbees at me. And they're mad at me, and I'm yelling, I'm sorry. You get the picture? Pretty weird, huh? Basically, I'm your average guy. I've got a job, I got a life. I practice safe sex. I put a plastic bag over my Playboy. That's a joke. For the humor impaired among us. It happened before, the dream thing. When I was a kid, I'd have this recurring dream. I'd be in bed and I'd hear this scratching at the window, and for some reason, I thought it was a kitten. So I go to the window to open it, but it wasn't a kitten. It was a witch, and she was scratching the window saying, I'm gonna get you! I'll be waiting for you! And the thing was that the dream was so real, I thought it was real. And I was scared. And the witch looked like my first grade teacher, Miss Blount. I was always scared of Miss Blount. She always had this beehive wig that tilted to one side, and she always had these bloodshot eyes. Well, now, of course, I know she was in the teacher's lounge at recess smoking a joint. But when you had a witch after you looked like Miss Blount, you get scared. And then I got an idea. I put peanut butter all around my bed on the floor, so when the witch comes, she'll slip on the peanut butter and leave, and go get some other kid who wasn't smart enough to put peanut butter on his floor. So that night, I sneaked into the kitchen and I and I got a jar of peanut butter, and I put peanut butter all around my bed on the floor. And I went to sleep with a smile on my face because I had tricked the witch. In the night, I was having a dream. I dreamed I was talking to God, and I said, "Hey God, can you hear me?" And God said,
Yeah, what do you want?
"Oh, well, hi God."
What do you want, kid? I'm in a hurry. I'm God.
Well, I was just wondering, if you're not doing too much, you can come down here and sleep with me. And you can be my friend and you can protect me.
Sleep with you.
Well, yeah,
In your bed?
you can be friends.
Well, I'd really like to, kid, but you see, I've got tickets to Phantom tonight. I'm talking orchestra, if you know what I mean. Besides, I've got the rest of my kids to look after.
Do you have a lot of kids, God?
Oh, yes, I have many, many kids. And those are just the ones I know about, if you know what I mean.
Well, God, have you ever heard of cold showers?
What?
If you took some, you wouldn't have so many kids. You can help me when I need you.
Look, you little brat.
Jerk.
You little snot face.
Screw you.
Up yours, you little dork.
That's right. I became the first kid on my block to call a dork by the Almighty himself. After that, I stopped talking to God and joined the Mickey Mouse Club. A boy can only serve one master, and the guy with the big ears got me. Besides, God doesn't listen to kids. He's too busy selling cosmetics to women named Tammy. Wait. Am I being filmed? Are you putting this on video? Well, gee, now I don't know what to say. Should I go put some makeup on? Oh, but then I wouldn't be me, would I? Too showbiz. I mean, I wouldn't be me with a little rouge on, would I? I'd be a good-looking version of Liberace. I say that because I was at work. So I'm at work, selling shoes, working hard, and this lady comes up to me. She comes right up and she says,
Did anyone ever tell you you look like Liberace?
"Of course no one's ever told me I look like Liberace because I don't look like Liberace."
Even when you smile, you look just like Liberace. Tell me, are you Jewish?
Hi. Like my outfit? See these buttons? Real diamonds. Cost me a fortune. I hope I don't lose a button. No wonder men are always trying to yank my clothes off. And I thought it was me. It's my buttons. Do I look like Liberace? You know, she looked like Liberace. She looked like Liberace's mother. Do I look like Liberace? Anyway, let's talk about me. I bet you're wondering if I have a family, so you can congratulate them. Yes, I have a mommy, daddy, and a big fat sister. I called her my sister from hell. And my parents used to call my sister Kitten from that TV show Father Knows Best. That was alright with me, just as long as they didn't start calling me Bud. I didn't like my sister. She was cruel. She was mean. And she was fat. She used to rip the feet off my G.I. Joe, and I loved my G.I. Joe. And can you imagine how that made me feel? My bud doesn't have any feet because my sister ripped them off? And when other kids would say, "Hey, what happened to the feet on the G.I. Joe?" I'd have to lie and say, "Oh, well, we got him shut off the knob." Yeah, he was smoking a joint and he slept on a bouncing Betty. He's in therapy along with my dog Goliath. When I was a kid, I had a dog named Goliath. He couldn't do any tricks or anything. The only thing he could do better than any other dog was go to the bathroom. He let out some real smokers. My backyard looked like LA after the riots. You know, the only time I ever got mad at him was when I had just finished picking up all his Adobe artwork. And he would go right in the middle of the yard and dish out this steaming plate of spinach. And he would look at me with his tongue out, smiling as if to say, "Yeah, I did a pretty good job, didn't I?" And I just looked at him and say to myself, if I could only aspire to half his greatness. And they say a dog is a man's best friend. No, I had a best friend. I don't remember his name, but he was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid that can do everything good. Marbles, football, Little League. Anyone here familiar with Little League? Well, if you're not, right field is where they put the demented, and me. My coach used to get on me for spilling Slurpee juice on my uniform. You'll notice the more you strike out, the more your coach gets on you for little things like getting Slurpee juice on your uniform. But what adults don't realize is that kids have their own social patterns they have to adhere to, and one of them is getting Slurpee juice on their uniform. Well, I didn't like it, but it was something I had to do for society. Slurpee juice is real. It's symbolic. It's tradition. Which reminds me, I stopped at this restaurant. I was hungry. I had just sold 50 shoes that day. When you sell that many shoes and see that many feet, you get hungry. When a sticky sock starts to smell like spaghetti and meatballs, you're hungry. I see this lady chop her spaghetti up in little pieces. Doesn't she know spaghetti was meant to be long so you can swirl it around your fork and taste it? And feel the tomato sauce and ingredients around the long noodles in your mouth? No. She chops it up, ruining the taste. A typical wasp thing to do, though, isn't it?
I can't eat spaghetti the right way. What would the neighbors think? Besides, I'm not a wop.
Not that she has anything against Italians.
Those damn Mexicans I can't stand. You see them at Kmart with their kids with their diapers around their ankles? Disrespect. At least we have to join the union before we show our ass in public.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, your sensibilities. I hurt your feelings. Well, I haven't read that book yet, you know. How to be a racist and still be cool. Don't call them names. Just ignore them. Avoid them. Don't let them get a job around here or a house. Yeah, I really should read that book. I hear it's a bestseller nowadays. Stupid spaghetti chop. When I was a kid, I didn't eat very well. Because my sister was a pig. I'd sit down to eat, and all of a sudden, I hear this great big swoop. It was gone. Into my sister's, her black hole belly. I think she had a Volkswagen once. It just disappeared into her black hole belly. No wonder I wasn't a good athlete. I was malnourished. Well, if I could have a talk with my sister today, I would say I don't care if my G.I. Joe had no feet. It still had more character than all your stupid dolls put together. Black hole belly sister. I think that having a sister like that would put me off towards women. But it hasn't. I like women, and women are naturally attracted to me. I guess I know a good thing when they see it. But there's a lot of creeps out there, you know? Like this friend of mine from work, Eddie Hansel. He's really not a friend of mine, he's just a guy I work with. But you know how you have to be friends with the people you work with, right? Anyway, Eddie told me one of the things he does to attract women is he gets a sock, and he bundles it up in a ball, and he sticks it between his legs, in his crotch area. And he says women really dig it. And he says dig it the way Sammy Davis Jr. used to say dig it. Yeah, right. We really believe that one, don't we? Old Eddie goes into a nightclub looking like he has Mount Rushmore between his legs, and all the women go wild. Yes, Eddie, I want to have the children. The only thing Eddie's going to get is athlete's foot on something that isn't a foot long. I don't need to do that. Women love me. It's like feminine napkins. They need me sometimes. And we all know how popular American feminine napkins are, right? The Japanese make better cars, but we make better feminine napkins, right? You don't see Japanese women skipping through the meadow when they're having their period, do you? Well, that and hot dog on a stick. And as long as we have those two things, this economy's going to be all right. What was I talking about? Women. I know what you want. Now that I'm talking about women, you want me to take the medication. To go where no man has gone before. You want to hear it? You really want to know what's wrong with me, right? That's what we came here for. Of course. Let's open the can up, let the worms out. We want to see them crawl. Dogs, cats, mice, rats, women. Let me tell you about today's product, women. I was shopping. What shoes I was shopping for. I was in the department store. I was just walking toward the shoe department when I hear this voice.
Hello, may I help you?
It was the salesperson in the perfume guy. She was, you know, maybe 16 or 17 years old, but, you know, sure. No, I was just going to buy shoes.
Maybe something for your girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend.
You're kidding. A cute guy like you? You must have 100. You probably have to beat him off with a stick. Oh, all right. But if you change your mind, you know where to find me. You're cute.
I couldn't wait. I had to talk to her again. I ended up grabbing a pair of earrings. They looked like a legal contraceptive devices. I actually cashed my purchase as we talked.
Did anyone ever tell you you look just like Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise. It's not Rob Lowe, but it's a hell of a lot better than Liberace, let me tell you. She said she had to leave, but she told me to come back again sometime. She said it was cute. She liked me. She really honestly liked me. No girl had ever gone straight up and said that she liked me. I thought maybe I could wait for her and go somewhere after, so I waited and I see her walking towards me. Hello? Hello?
Excuse me.
I said hello.
Excuse me, but do I know you?
Well, yeah, I'm that guy. You know, I bought those earrings. I thought maybe we can get together and get something to eat.
Excuse me, but when I'm working, I'm nice to everyone. Even you. It doesn't mean I'm interested in you. I'm not interested in you. God, what a creep.
Creep. She called me a creep. Not only was I humiliated, but I was in immense pain. My sock had unraveled and wrapped around my testicles. I felt like I was giving birth to twin nipples. She didn't have to call me names. It's not easy doing this today. It's not easy being a kid today, because last week I was working, and this day no one wanted to buy shoes, and when I'm all alone with my shoes, no one wants, I kind of talk to them to keep their spirits up. Hey, you look great today. You look particularly attractive with that shiny artificial leather. Keep your heels up. And I turn around and I heard the squeaking sound, and it was a girl. She must have been around 6 or 7 years old, and she had on a nice white dress, and she was eating a chocolate ice cream cone. And there she was laughing. Is there anything better than hearing a child laugh? Nice. And I had nothing better to do, so I started doing my Richard Nixon impersonation, which is risky. Kids either laugh or cry when I do Nixon, depending on whether they're Democrats or Republicans.
Fine. I'm a boss. I'm looking for a place to stay. Can I come over to your house?
No, you can't, because I have a sister and you might try to steal her.
Oh no. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I will never try to steal your sister. After all, I'm not a crook.
The little girl started laughing. And she started laughing so hard her hands started to wobble. And it happened. She dropped her ice cream cone on her dress. And then I heard her voice coming from the lady's underwear.
That dress, what have you done to that dress?
And I looked at the girl, and the eyes that a minute ago gleamed with laughter now had tears running down. And the mother. I didn't trust her right off the bat.
What is your problem,
She had a haircut.
huh? I told you to be careful.
Richard
What
Stein.
is your problem?
You never trust a woman with a haircut 2 generations out of fashion.
What is wrong with you? Look what you've done to that dress!
She didn't have to do that. It was only a dress, a piece of cloth. What was she trying to prove? Does that mean when the girl grows up, she's going to hit her kid too? Of course. She'll pretend everything's okay when she's not knocking the hell out of her daughter. After that, I had to go to the movies. That's where I go to get away from everything. The only trouble is I usually go alone, and going to the movies is sort of a couple thing. And there's that time right before the movie comes on where everyone's looking around staring at you because you're not with anyone. So I got into the habit of buying 2 Cokes and 2 popcorns so that when I sat down, people would think I was with someone. Sometimes I look over my shoulder as if I were looking for someone. I look at my wrist to check the time. Sometimes I check the time and I wouldn't have a wristwatch on and just look at my wrist. I don't think anyone caught on. But then the lights would fade and the screen would explode with color, and it would just sort of envelop me and take me into another world. Then look at a couple in front of me. and they'd be sharing a bag of popcorn in there. Hands would go in the bag at the same time, and they would look into each other's eyes. And they'd smile. And I'd look at my 2 bags of popcorn, and I'd think, that's what popcorn was invented for. And so 2 people can go to the movies and their hands would touch. I've never really gone on a date with a woman. Except for that one time, but I paid her to be with me, and we only went to a room. Well, count me. She had a great smile and long black hair. I don't remember anything about the room or where it was. The only thing I remember was her. When we got to her room, she started taking her clothes off. And when she was naked, she was naked. She started taking my clothes off. I usually take my own clothes off, but she did a good job. And then she looked at me and smiled. Great moments are few, but this was great. The actual act didn't take very long, but it was the best 9 seconds I ever had. You people probably think I'm crazy, but I think I love them. It's alright for me to be lonely, but a woman should never be lonely because they're great. And I wouldn't want them to feel like I feel sometimes. The other day, I was lying awake in bed because I couldn't sleep. And next to the window was a spider, and he was sitting in his big spider web. So I took off one of my shoes and I threw it at the spider web and I killed the spider. Suddenly I had a chill down my spine because I realized I was doing the very thing I hated in other people. And I remember when I was a kid, I had this friend. He was a black kid, but he had white fuzzy hair. His name was Prentice. Can you imagine Prentice? It sounds like a librarian. I called him Yogi and he called me Goo Goo. He always used to make me laugh. I guess when you're the only black kid in town and you have white fuzzy hair, you have to have a sense of humor. We would do or say anything. We thought nothing could hurt us until one day when we were playing two-square in the park and these older kids came. There was John Carmichael and Steve Cheeseborough and others I didn't know. And they started beating Yogi up. And that is something I could never understand about other people. I mean, Yogi never hurt anyone. He was just a kid. He was my friend. I remember one time it was his birthday, and he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, Boo Boo, look what I got for my birthday. But you can have it because you're my friend." Never beat him up. He was scared. I could tell he was scared because he looked in his. I looked in his eyes and he was scared. And I ran. I should have done something, but I just ran and left him. There really wasn't anything I could have done. They were bigger than me. I know what you're thinking. You're wrong. I'm not different. You're just like me. We all run away and hide and pretend things don't happen, don't we? A girl can be beaten to death next door. I wish she stopped that screaming. I can't hear the Miss America pageant. See, the girl next door is a hero. She's an irritant. Her flesh bruises and she bleeds, but who needs that when you can have... There she is, Miss America! That's what America's all about. You can look and feel good and then not give a damn. Well, it's nice. It's nice to think that we'll save the girl right after this next commercial and everything will be blue and clean just like on TV, but that's not real life. In real life, we see blood and we're scared, and we're so scared we just freeze up and stand there and let the worst things happen. I saw, I heard, and there was this boy and he had a mother. She was bad and she would do bad things. And the boy had a little sister. And she was so nice to him, and her spirit was so special that when she dies, you could cut her up into little stars and she would make the night so beautiful you wouldn't want to see day again. And she would say to her little brother, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you. I won't let anyone hurt you. We'll protect each other." The mother was walking towards the boy to hit him again, and the girl, the sister stepped between them and said no. And the mother hit her. The boy. He was only 6 years old at the time, but that doesn't matter. He just stood there as the sister was being hit. In the blood. And I just stood.
God, it just stood there!
The other day, I was lying awake in bed because I couldn't sleep. I was thinking. I saw a sparrow in a tree, and he was just sitting on a limb, looking at me as if to say, "What you wish for me?" I felt free like a bird flies free in the sky. I felt free like a bird flies. Fly like a bird flies.